Day 13 of domestic violence and estate planning. We're going to talk about trusts. I know we mentioned trusts in an earlier video. And we talked about how they're private, which is great because they can keep your intentions private, and they can also help prevent an abuser going after people after you've passed or if you're incapacitated for some reason. Trust can also be a good way to help protect assets, not really from a divorce. Okay, we're in a community property state, and so assets that you have that are community assets, you can stick them in a trust if you want, but the court's going to go into that trust to get the assets out. But if you have separate property assets that you have, establishing a trust to ensure that those assets remain separate from any community assets is a great idea in domestic violence marriages. I would say it's a fabulous idea in any marriage, just to make sure that your separate assets are not commingled with community assets. Trust can be a great way to manage your property after a divorce. Abusers are frequently known to not meet their financial obligations after a divorce, which can include paying creditors. They may try to use the legal system to continue to abuse you to try to get access to any resources that you have. And trust can offer some level of protection from those various abuses. Now, the specific type of trust may vary. For estate planning, for most people, unless you have millions and millions and millions of dollars, then I would generally recommend a living trust, which is a revocable type of trust that lets you move assets in and out, but does not give the same protection from creditors as some other types of trusts. Working with a wills and estates attorney, you may choose to put assets in irrevocable trusts and name different trustees and beneficiaries to protect those assets from abusers. It can be a very complicated scenario. I suggest a lot of things as DIYs to people because I understand cost is a concern for people when they're doing their estate planning. This is not one of those things I would suggest doing DIY. If you have those kinds of assets and those kinds of concerns, I would recommend consulting with me or another wills and estates attorney so we can get the right solution for you for your trusts.